Intro music with a dark, mysterious tone fades in and then out. Hello, hunters. It's your guide into the shadows, the dark trivia hunter. We use phrases every single day without a second thought. They're harmless, right? Just words. But some words, some phrases, are ghosts. They're echoes of a much darker, more brutal time. And today, we're hunting down the story of one of the most common, kick the bucket. You know what it means. To die. Simple. Old Mr. Hemlock finally kicked the bucket. But why a bucket? Why are we kicking it? The answer most people believe, is the most visually horrifying. It takes us to a time of public executions, where death was a spectacle. Picture this. A condemned man stands on a platform, but there is no trapdoor. There is only an overturned bucket. A coarse rope, a noose, is tightened around his neck. His final moments are spent balancing on this flimsy object. And to complete the act, either the executioner, or the victim himself, kicks the bucket away. In that final, desperate spasm, the body convulses. The legs twitch and kick at the empty air where the bucket used to be. It's a grim, visceral, and powerful image. And for centuries, this has been the leading theory. The phrase, a direct, literal description of a low-tech, brutal form of suicide or execution. It's the story everyone loves to tell because it's so perfectly macabre. But here's the secret, the truth you came for, there's almost zero historical evidence to support it. No records, no documents, no credible accounts of this method being common. It's what we call a folk etymology. A story that sounds so good, it has to be true. But the truth might be even stranger. And it involves a different kind of bucket. Let's travel from the gallows to the slaughterhouse. For this, we need to understand a word that has been lost to time. The old French word, bouquet. It sounds like bucket, but it wasn't something you carry water in. A bouquet was a wooden beam or yoke used to hang animals up by their feet for slaughter. Specifically, pigs. They would be hoisted onto the bouquet, and in their final death throes, they would thrash and kick violently against the very beam holding them. They would, quite literally, kick the bouquet. This theory, while just as gruesome, has far more linguistic support. The transition from bouquet to bucket is a simple, believable shift in language over time. So, are we talking about a hanged man, or a slaughtered animal? The evidence points away from the executioner's square and towards the butcher's block. But hold on. There's one more theory. One that takes us out of violence and into the world of holy ritual. After a person died, it was a Roman Catholic custom to hold a wake in the home. As part of this tradition, a bucket of holy water would be placed at the feet of the deceased's body. Friends and family who came to pay their respects would dip a sprig of yew into the bucket and sprinkle the body, offering a prayer. The connection here is more symbolic. The phrase, kick the bucket, could be a crude, informal way of describing this final interaction with a holy object right at the moment of death, or the body being stiff, kicking it accidentally. It's the least violent theory, but also the one with the weakest linguistic connection. A strange, forgotten ritual that might just hold the key. Outro music begins to fade in softly. So, what have we found on our hunt today? A brutal execution that likely never happened. A gruesome slaughterhouse practice with a strange French name. And a forgotten holy ritual. While the hanging story is the most famous, the evidence of the bouquet is the strongest. Our common, almost silly phrase for death, likely comes from the final moments of a dying animal. Language hides its scars well. Behind the most innocent words can lie a history of violence and death. The next time you hear someone say, kick the bucket, you won't just hear a phrase. You'll see the shadow of the gallows, and you'll hear the echo of the slaughterhouse. What dark idiom should I hunt next? Let me know in the comments. And if you have the courage to face the truth, subscribe, and join the hunt. Stay curious.